I don't know how to roll the intro, so we're not going to do it this episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the shoot around. As you can tell, the only host, as he would call it, Rudy St. Clair, could not make it. He is hosting. He's looking for apartments in, I guess I won't dox him. He's looking for apartments. So he's not here, which means I get to lead this thing, which is a disaster already. But we got
Dad's out of town.
him.
Let's party.
He is the oldest. We got MDJ here. The prodigal, what's that term? Prodigal son.
Prodigal son returns. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. After Mark uploaded his first video, I sent him, because we texted years ago. I sent him the Return of the King meme. I wasn't even sure if I still had you in my contacts, but alas, I did. But obviously, we're here to react to the draft. Spoiler. Unfortunately, none of us are super heavy draft people, but you know what? I guess this is we can all be casuals together.
Dude, there are no YouTubers that are draft people. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few here or there, but they don't do very well. I've known people who were draft YouTubers, and I was like, sorry, it's just a tough niche, man.
Yeah,
because there's just a lot less people interested in, Dariq Whitehead than LeBron James. So
shout out
the way it goes.
He's like the only like draft YouTuber that I've seen kind of break through like the draft niche, like the barrier. Right.
I have no idea who that is, but sure, shout out to that guy.
He's great.
So when does this draft actually start? Like, I'm sure they're going to go through all kinds of bullshit. Do we want to I guess we can just talk about some trades to fill the air. Do we want to talk about Porzingis first, or
Tingus
or Jordan Poole?
I guess Jordan Poole's the most recent, so we can talk about that. What was the package again? Because I know they had to give up more than just Jordan, or no?
Yeah, it was Jordan Poole, 1 first-round pick and 1 second-round pick. Let me just double-check that.
The crazy thing about this is I made a tweet about it, and someone was like pointing this out to me. That pick is probably like a 12, 13-year-old.
2030, yeah, a 2030 protected first-round pick. The Warriors.
So like it's a middle schooler right now, and Jordan Poole's age and that middle schooler's age combined is less than Chris Paul's age.
That's true.
By the time that pick conveys, Chris Paul will be 45 and presumably retired. I don't think he's going to make it.
What's funny to me is that like Chris Paul and Jordan Poole are both kind of like bad contracts right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the Warriors, like, to me, when you have 2 bad contracts and then one of them is an old player and one of them is a young player on a long-term bad contract, it's like, well, the young player on the long-term bad contract is negated. The value that they might have by being young is negated by the fact that the old player is on an expiring, because Chris Paul only has 1 more year left on his contract. So it's like the Warriors still gave up assets in this trade, even though it's like way down the road first. It was like, I'm kind of surprised it wasn't just a swap.
Yeah, I don't understand the first aspect of it. Like, was Jordan Poole really that hard to trade? I feel like there were some teams that would have been willing to take the gamble. I'll tell you what, I would have happily traded, DeMar DeRozan for him. Like, starting this rebuild off with at least someone who's entertaining.
You would just do DeMar DeRozan just straight up?
Dude, I'm at a point with the Chicago Bulls. Let me get in my bag here, as our good friend Muhammad would say. I'm at a point with the Bulls where you could tell me you traded every veteran on this team for 2nd-round picks, and I'm still happy because it's over. That's all that I care about at this point, is I don't want to watch this fucking team anymore. I don't want to watch this team, and I don't want to watch people rationalize that there's something to this, that just wait for Lonzo Ball to get healthy, like that's ever gonna fucking happen. I'm so ready for it to be over. Like, I've seen people come at me like, what would make you happy in a Zach LaVine trade? And I'm like, a Zach LaVine trade inherently makes me happy. That's the end of it. As long as it's over, I'm happy. And I've done a full flip on him as well. This is what happens with players on the Bulls is I'll spend years defending them, and then eventually I snap. And I can't deal with their bullshit anymore. And like Zach LaVine, because of him, I am like almost fully out on players who can only score. Like I can't stand it. And I think the relationship between scoring and playmaking is something that needs to be discussed and appreciated more, because I feel like if you have one ability and not the other, that makes the other ability significantly less valuable. Goes both ways. If you're a playmaker that can't score or a scorer that can't playmake, I don't want you anywhere near my team for the most part, especially not as a quote unquote franchise player. Anywho. Any argument? I can't be the only one that talks.
The Jordan Poole thing is interesting. Like Alex was saying, when you have the difference between an old player on a bad contract and a young player on a bad contract, I think for the Warriors, they're still absolutely in win now mode. And basically what they're looking at is, okay, we probably want to bring Draymond back. He's a free agent right now. We probably want to re-sign Klay Thompson, assuming Klay Thompson's not delusional and asking for the max.
He might be.
He might be.
That's not a guarantee.
It does not seem.
Every time Klay Thompson, is trending on Twitter, he's like counting his fingers or doing some dumb stuff like that.
Rudy got a new camera. Oh, Rudy looks different this episode. When did Rudy become Asian? I don't remember.
It's like that episode of The Office where they have like the. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't watch The Office, man. I'm not.
Never mind.
Oh, you're talking about Asian Jim.
Yeah, Asian Jim.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
That's what we're doing to our audience right now.
Yeah, I have this horrible thing where I can't watch anything where where the humor is this guy is fucking cringe, because it's just painful to me. It's not funny. So like watching I almost said Jim Carrey's character. What the fuck is his name?
Is Wemby being drafted right now?
Oh, word, is he? I don't know.
Oh no,
he's just introduced.
Yeah, they're doing this media stuff where they talk about their rags to riches story and do weird shit that like dehumanizes the hell out of the players, just because that's the way it works.
Yeah. Anyway, also, Mark, what were you saying about?
Yeah, so they're thinking about their next. So the Warriors are just thinking about their next few years, yeah. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys have touched on the podcast about the new CBA stuff, but if you cross that second tax apron, which the Warriors, I mean, with their payroll, it's pretty much like it's pretty much already there.
Yeah,
the consequences are pretty severe. So I think they just look at Jordan Poole's contract and they're like, Jordan Poole to us cannot possibly be worth $30 million. We need to get all this money off the books so we at least have the opportunity to re-sign Klay Thompson next summer.
Yeah, I do think this is definitely like when you have Steph, you do what you can to win with Steph move. Because like the thing that I've said about Jordan Poole this whole time, he's fucking good without Steph. He just is. But when he's on the when he's sharing the floor with Stephen Curry, it immediately diminishes a lot of what Jordan Poole brings to the table. And it's weird because almost every player, if you put them in the Warriors system, is better for it. I think Jordan Poole is the type of guy that, like, to quote Miles Morales, I'm going to do my own thing. He does not want to partake in the Warriors system. He wants to hoop for the baddies, as they would say. I sound so
I need
old
the soundboard, dude. I gotta hit the song.
But yeah, it's entirely just because they don't want to they want to win as much as they can with Steph, and Jordan Poole doesn't really work there. Granted, I don't know that Chris Paul is I feel like some people are treating Chris Paul like he's going to make a huge fucking difference. He's going to fit better than Jordan Poole. He's going to impact more than Jordan Poole. But the Warriors were more than just Jordan Poole being good away from like being a champion this year. That was not going to flip things for them to be in the finals. Like the Nuggets had such a dominant playoff run, and they're so young that like now that becomes like, can you beat the Nuggets though? Like ironically, for a long time with the Warriors, it's like, yeah, this team's good. Can you beat the Nuggets though? And like the Warriors, even if Jordan Poole averaged 25 points a game, we're not beating the Denver Nuggets.
Side note, Wemby just got drafted, I believe. Shocker. He really flew up the boards.
You're
I don't think anyone saw this
me
coming.
you're telling me that Victor Wembanyama is the number 1 pick in the draft? There's no way.
Dude, Charlotte is in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going to be interesting because I have a theory that I know Brandon Miller's been mocked like top 3 pretty consistently.
Yeah.
I would not. I genuinely think he could fall out of the top 3, and there's even a chance he could fall out of the top 5.
Yeah, it's possible. I could very easily see it going just Scoot and Eamon Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, honestly, I could see somebody taking the other Thompson twin too.
Is
like,
it Eamon?
Eamon is the better one, the slightly better one.
No,
it's Eamon and Hosser. Yeah.
No, I haven't actually listened to anyone say his name out loud.
Is it Eamon? I'm pretty sure
I thought it was Amen.
Oh, it could be Amen.
So you both are saying 2 things, and I've heard a third pronunciation.
Oh, fucking
which is
Christ.
what?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like I was watching film the other day, and I was like, the most common one I heard was Amen, but I also heard Amen and then Amen, and it was like, pick one. Come on, I can't keep
Aemon Targaryen. Aemon
Yeah.
Targaryen. Yeah, we settled.
That's such a real reference.
Amen is such a weird like name because it's counterintuitive. You can't say amen. It's A is singular, men is plural. So it's very confusing. But anyways,
yeah.
Name science aside, from what I understand, Amen, 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 whatever his name may be, is probably like more of a creator, which is obviously the hottest commodity, the most important skill you can have as a player to get drafted super high. So to some extent, I think it comes down to what the team needs. In the case of Portland, they don't need any of them. They need to trade that pick or not trade that pick and trade Dame. The second one is what they should do. Don't know if that's actually what they're going to do. Amen is Egyptian. Think of Amen Ra. So yeah, Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
good. We got it. Appreciate
Amon
it.
Ra?
That was a very helpful reference.
Almost like Amon Ross St. Brown, the receiver for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, okay.
Or the sun god. That one too.
Wait till Bilal Coulibaly gets drafted. Then we're gonna have to say that.
Oh, man.
When the Thunder pick him at 12.
Doesn't Adam Silver have to do an hour of training just to make sure he knows everybody's name and how to pronounce it?
Probably, but right. I still feel like he messes at least one up every year. But
I feel like it's impossible not to.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
historically, I've generally been pretty good at pronouncing names. And I feel like especially with the Giannis thing, it took way too long for people to figure out how to say his name. Like, if someone says something to me, I can copy how it sounds after a couple of attempts. Like, it's not that difficult. People act like they're doing they're speaking an entire different, I guess sometimes it's an entire different language, but it's names are just names, man. Culturally different, but shit sounds weird everywhere. There's definitely weird ass American names. I can tell you that much. It's not that complicated. But
so Wemby hasn't been drafted yet, by the way. It's just that the Spurs, their pick is already in because they're the first pick. So
okay, fair
they
enough.
get to send it in whenever they want.
Well, this is like really LeBron breaking the scoring record too. They're gonna milk it for everything they can.
Yeah, it'd be funny if if the Spurs just we're gonna wait until the last second, we don't know what we're doing. Yeah, I gotta say about Wemby, man. I know nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah,
but other than health,
because
being that size, that length, that is always a little bit scary. If it's not health, man, he's gonna be at least an all-star. Like at the bare minimum, I think. I don't think there's a fucking way he isn't. Because like to me, he looks like he will instantly be one of the best defensive players in the league. Even if it takes him like a couple of games to adjust, it will not take him that long. And offensively speaking, even if he's like an 18 point per game guy, I feel like it'd be almost impossible for him to not be at least that. If you get 18 points a game plus defensive player of the year level, that's an all-star. So that's his floor. I do understand a little bit more shock toward, or a little bit more concern about like his offensive stuff, because like, you know, he likes to shoot jumpers. They don't necessarily go in at the highest rate, but like at the same time, form looks good, super confident, taking step backs at 7'15". Like I think even if he has a pretty good jumper and is that tall, what are you gonna do, man? Like it's like the Kevin Durant thing where he can just shoot over you. It doesn't matter what you put in front of him for the most part. What are you gonna do? But it's even a taller and longer player. I'm pretty sure his release point is like at or above the rim, or like slightly below where the rim would be. It's like you're gonna block a shot that's the ball is 10 feet in the air. You have to jump up like you're about to dunk in order to block a Victor Wembanyama shot. It's ridiculous.
When I was working on my Wemby video, one thing I came across was the fact that he shot like 57% from mid-range on like meaningful volume during his time with Met 92. Dude, watching the film for his mid-range stuff was insane because they were running like inverted pick and rolls, and I was watching a 7'3" center abuse drop coverage in the mid-range, and I was like,
you can't do anything about
that. That's impossible to defend. And that's why the whole like focus of the video was how like Victor Wembanyama is going to change the NBA, because like there's never been a player that could do that. So no defense has ever been designed to stop that. It's like you're incapable of doing anything against that right now with our current approach to defense. Like it doesn't exist right now.
Like
so it's
the closest thing further. The closest thing you can think of with that is Kevin Durant. But like Wemby is much larger than Kevin Durant. Like as tall and long as Kevin Durant is, he is taller and longer. I should probably say pause at some point. So like I don't think there's someone who has been a genuine like center height and like projects to be a center, or at the worst like a power forward, but probably a center, who straight up is like basically a guard, like not has guard like skills. I mean, is 7'4", whatever it is, and is a guard. He just is a guard that also is a center, which is like absurd. Even Nikola Jokic is fucking slow. Even he's not like doing tween hezzy splashes generally. Wemby can do that. Okay, not to pivot too quickly away from Wemby, but 2.5 minutes until the pick has to be in for Charlotte.
So let's call right now. Who do we think they're taking?
I think they will be. Well, there's so many fucking conflicting reports, and the Hornets are historically stupid. So they could make the wrong decision here, but I'm gonna say they still go with Scoot. It seems so obvious. I'm obviously not a draft guy, but it seems so obvious to me that Scoot Henderson is by far and away the second best player in this draft. And like I've seen some people make the argument, like, by the way, if you're in the chat, if you see like a notification from Woj, like try not to spoil it. That would be appreciated. I got entirely lost on what I was saying. But like I've seen people been like, well, the Hornets need shooting. What exactly are the Hornets, buddy? What players on the Hornets are going to be here in 4 years? LaMelo Ball and Mark Williams, maybe PJ Washington, who is a shooter. Like,
respect Kai Jones.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what fit Charlotte needs right now? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I had the pick spoiled for me. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Sure.
Well, I'm looking at the chat.
I'm not gonna guess.
They're also saying conflicting things. I don't understand the Rozier for Sexton swap. What's the point of that?
Rozier for Sexton? Just swap the
Yeah.
same player?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
You get the same player?
That's like the most
Just for fun?
lateral of lateral moves.
but it's something that's been rumored like a ton. I don't understand. Yeah, it was just in the chat from someone. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I don't
agree with
know.
you.
It's
I think if you're
weird.
the Hornets, you just focus on taking the best player, and then I mean, if they think that's actually Brandon Miller, then so be it. But they should not worry about things like the fit with LaMelo with regards to Scoot. That should not be on your mind right now.
Yeah, what I don't understand as well, like there's just I don't know why people are so adamant that LaMelo and Scoot can't play together. Like, sure, both of them have shown some exquisite off-ball ability, but at the same time, like if you draft Scoot and you have LaMelo, and both of them are really good, but clearly aren't going to jive together, sure would suck to get 8 first-round picks for trading one of them. Like, it's still a good result. Whereas, you can draft Brandon Miller, and he's like a 2-time All-Star, and he fits better next to LaMelo. But ultimately, like, you'd probably get more out of trading Scoot Henderson than keeping Brandon Miller.
Oh. The pick is in.
Also, frankly.
Is it Brandon Miller? Hold on, I'm watching the announcement. Brandon Miller.
Hey, pick Brandon Miller.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude, Charlotte is people talk about the Clippers being cursed. I think Charlotte is either cursed or Michael Jordan is just an alcoholic. It's like something's wrong with that team and how it's being managed. But they also have the worst luck ever. All these number 2 picks that they've gotten, dating back to Emeka Okafor in 2004, was it? They got the second pick. Dwight Howard was the first pick. And then, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Anthony Davis, first and second. I don't know. I'm not gonna say they're jinx, but like, this feels a little bit like that.
Yeah. What I'm interested in now is like that third pick just became way more valuable.
Oh, dude.
Portland's got to be on the phone right now. Yeah.
Portland's got to be on the phone with like 18 fucking teams right now.
Yep.
Like they're probably bringing in interns. Like, answer this fucking phone. Zach LaVine for 3? Question mark. Listen, if
Stop it, Jacob. Did you say Zach LaVine for 3?
There's no way it's gonna happen. But I have deluded myself into believing it's feasible. But like, there's no fucking way the Blazers would have traded CJ McCollum because him and Dame didn't work, and then trade for athletic CJ McCollum.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Like,
interesting.
That's basically what he is. But yeah, I imagine there's a good chance the Blazers draft Scoot and then trade him later. Like, it's not like they have to do it right now.
True. The Timberwolves did that with Andrew Wiggins because after free agency, they drafted him and then... Oh, no, sorry, not the Timberwolves. The Cavs. My bad. The Cavs. Yeah, right. The Cavs selected Andrew Wiggins first overall, and then free agency happened. LeBron came back, and then they traded him. So, yeah, Portland could absolutely just draft Scoot, and it looked like, there's no trade announced tonight, but after free agency or after other trades happen before the season, they could very much, trade him.
Now, I will say, actually, I lost what I was going to say, so I won't say anything. Whoops. Just completely lost what the hell I was going to say. All right.
Oh, maybe they're trying to recruit Paul George to Charlotte.
Huh?
Brandon Miller?
Oh, God. That took me a second. I kind of figured that Brandon Miller was like a big Paul George guy because like it's kind of the vibes I got from him as a player watching him. Like the, 3-point, heavy 3-point shooting, good perimeter defense, sneakily good as a playmaker. jumps pretty well. That's basically
Dude,
all Paul George does. So
That
we've covered all
comment,
the
I cannot
checklists.
believe that comment got so much attention. Like, it's so obviously that he's just a kid and he misspoke. He meant to say like Paul George is my favorite player. Like, he's obviously not dumb. He doesn't know.
There are a lot of people who say my GOAT is, and then it's just someone who's clearly not the greatest player of all time.
It's just their favorite. Yeah.
So it's like they don't even really think that.
He did double down on it.
He did? What did he? When
they drafted him, he did said it in the interview.
Taylor Rooks asked him to clarify, and he was like, "Yeah, like Paul George is my GOAT."
I saw a lot of people.
GOAT. He said the GOAT, not my GOAT.
I saw a lot of people dunking on him for like, kind of like saying some low-key diss stuff like to Michael Jordan. And I also saw a ton of people like Michael Jordan's gonna draft Scoot now because he insulted him. I don't think there's anything that Michael Jordan would respect more than a 19-year-old going into his house and insulting him. Like, that sounds like some legendary shit to me. Like, I think he would have a respect for that. He's like, oh, he's also an asshole. He's just like me for real.
No, that sounds like Kobe.
That's
what Kobe did.
It's some shit that I would say. It's some shit that I see a player would say, and I'm like, that makes me like Brandon Miller more, not think worse of him. I saw so many people like, who does this kid think he is? I'm like, you got to have that fucking insane confidence to be really good. Kobe was just some fucking kid who was like, had a vet in his ear, like talking about how scared everyone was of Michael Jordan. He was like, why would I be scared of him? He's just a guy.
Come on, just trade Dame already. Like, let's quit beating around the bush here. We know it's going to happen. We don't need to waste everyone's time.
There are at least five fan bases in the NBA whose mental health hinges on Damian Lillard coming to save their team.
The funny thing is, we're not gonna get into that.
Okay.
I don't think Damian Lillard's saving anybody. There's like maybe 3 teams that I'm like, okay, if you add Damian Lillard to this team, they become the title favorites. But really, there's like
Miami, probably, yeah.
Yeah, Miami.
Well, not title favorites, but they'd be much better.
Yeah, they'd have a much better shot.
Right.
I don't
Boston,
think
maybe.
I don't think there's any team in the league that's one trade away from me thinking they're better than Denver. Like, unless they just traded for a top 5 guy. Like, even after the KP trade, which like I'm still like torn about it emotionally speaking, but objectively speaking, good move. They are better. But ultimately,
okay, Scoot, the Blazers drafted Scoot Henderson.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they still trade him today, because it would be kind of an L if they didn't, or obviously trade Dame, whichever way it goes. Do something for the sake of our entertainment,
Yeah, it's interesting. Like we said, they don't have to rush with it yet.
Yeah, and a rare case of being smart by the Portland Trailblazers front office not to rush things, because you got to make sure you get the best player possible. I got to say, I've been obviously very adamant that pick is stupid. Not that pick, that the idea of keeping Dame is stupid and not keeping that pick. But if you can trade Scoot for Paul George, I get it. Like, I can't be like, I think that's the worst decision you've ever made. I still think it would be a bad decision, but it at least is like, I understand how you're like, Dame, Paul George, if we nail free agency, sure, they'll be good. Again, they're not going to be better than Denver, but if you have enough delusion, I can see you convincing yourself of that.
Yeah, it's like, is it smart? No, but I get it.
Yeah,
it's fair enough.
It's an appropriate amount of reasonable, not a high percentage, but at least a percentage.
Yeah,
but like
you can trick yourself into thinking that's smart. Like to do.
The thing is though, like, yeah, like that's obviously an option. And I think that's what a lot of Blazers fans are latching onto, is that it makes like potential sense. But like that, to me, just on paper, what you get after you trade Damian Lillard and you also now have Scoot Henderson, holy shit, man. What a start to a rebuild that would be. It might be like the best start to a rebuild there's ever been, like basically just competing with the OKC Thunder getting Shea for Paul George. Like otherwise, no one else has started off on a better foot than that. Generational prospect, 5 first-round picks, probably some other interesting young player. Shaedon Sharpe, who I'm really high on. Anthony Simons, who I believe I think is pretty underrated, but I don't know that he's necessarily going to be so much better than he is currently, but he is still young. Like, that's so much shit going in your favor. And if they draft even pretty well, that is a team that will be probably a very good playoff team within 4 seasons and have a much brighter future than they would with Dame and Paul George. Because if Dame and Paul George doesn't work out in like the next 2 years, it's pretty much done. Like at that point, I think it'd be over, like officially. So 2 years of probably having not even a real shot at winning a championship, or setting yourself up for the next 15 years. Which choice do you make? To me, it's fucking obvious.
Didn't they fire their GM recently, Portland? I know it was for like, he was doing like some messed up stuff. He was like not a good dude. But
I didn't hear about that. No.
Was it their, let me see. For some reason I thought,
is that why Dame isn't getting traded? They don't have a GM?
No, I forget. Yeah.
I remember the tangent I was going to make earlier. I know, I don't understand how Charlotte can have been the beneficiary of a team being stupid and drafting for fit at the second pick. See that and be like, you know what? We're going to do the same thing.
Dude. Yes, they did. Neil Olshey. Yeah, it's hilarious because they fired Neil Olshey.
Yeah,
and nothing changed.
Like I didn't even know he was fired. But yeah, I remember that name. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, most recently served as the manager of the Portland Trailblazers. What happened? Yeah, he was investigated for like being a creep and like doing some like nasty stuff. But they got rid of him, and the whole theory was like, oh, okay, he's gone. Maybe they'll actually get things together and like, piss or get off the pot with Dame and like just trade him or blow it up. But nothing changed. They just kept doing the same thing over and over. Still, it's like 2 years later. He was fired in 2021.
Idiot. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Houston briefly. So they have Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. That's their backcourt, yeah? You assume they're just going to go for a wing?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I think they're going to take. I think they're going to take
Cam Whitmore, maybe.
I think they're, from what I've heard from Rockets fans, and like kind of the vibes I'm getting.
I think they want
like the KPJ experiment is, they're kind of done with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think if they take Amen, then I think that kind of just fixes that problem for them where like, they get a really, really, really good passer who can just take over and they can do whatever with KPJ, let him walk eventually or trade him or something.
I did not know Rockets fans hated Kevin Porter Jr. that much.
Well, I don't know if they hate him, but they're definitely they're not buying him as like a long term.
He's very hooper pilled. That's what I like to say. That's what I like to call it, hooper pilled.
What does that mean?
Him and Jalen Green have no synergy together.
Oh, too much Hezzy Jimbo.
Yeah, tween Hezzy splash shit. Yeah, like fuck a play. I'm gonna take this up the court and pull from 40. Yeah. I have thought about this. I feel like Houston, obviously I don't think Alperen is going to be as good as Nikola Jokic. That'd be a crazy thing to put on some young player. But I do think that Houston could look at them as like a blueprint for like the direction they should go in terms of building that team. Because you can look at it as like Jalen Green is kind of the Jamal Murray there. Develop the two-man game between those two. Obviously, Jalen Green would have to improve as a playmaker. Use Alfred as your playmaking hub. Obviously, I think you'd have to do a lot more than just that, but I think that can be like the foundation that you build upon. And maybe Amen is the playmaking lead guy there, but you can have that synergy between him, Green, and Alfred. It's interesting. I wish Houston's fan base wasn't so evil. Is it bad? My mic?
No,
No.
You just got a weird look on your face.
I'm just looking at the announcement. Sorry.
It's
I was talking
it's
about
it's
Alex.
Alperin.
Oh.
Alperin.
Alperin?
Yeah, ALP.
Amen Thompson. Okay, Adam Silver said amen, so Alex is right.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, good to know.
Well, yeah, okay.
Shout out Adam Silver. He knows.
I assume Adam Silver was told by Amen himself. So
Is Amen's got to be the first guy from OTE drafted this high, right? I don't know.
Oh, it's got to be,
OTE
right? Yeah, who
has
else?
been drafted this high.
Yeah.
Interesting. We went to that.
They look identical, man. It's crazy. They actually look identical.
It's almost like they're brothers or something.
Yeah.
They got this like the same hair too.
Yeah, that's always weird. Are they? Yeah, they're twins. Duh.
Yep.
I forgot
Yes,
to call
the Thompson twins. As they've been.
I was just gonna say. I
known.
just remembered. Yeah, they're called the Thompson twins. But like, I don't understand that when people are twins and they're like, "All right, we're gonna have the same haircut, the same wardrobe." It's like, did you guys also get the same exact taste and fashion and style? Is that how it works?
I mean, genetically, like, that's what twins are.
Do you get your aesthetic taste based on genetics? I think you get it based on your.
No, I mean, some of that is environmental, but like,
right.
Genetically, it's
you guys want to
similar,
debate nature versus nurture real quick?
You know what's interesting? The fact like they have identical DNA, I assume, well, unless there's something we don't know about. But like, yeah, but the fact that they actually are significantly different players is very interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have the same build. Yeah, they develop the same way. It's just their skill set is actually a bit different.
I wouldn't know.
They're both stupid athletic, though. That's one thing.
Yeah, I did know that much.
But yeah, basically, Amen is more polished offensively.
Yeah.
So that's
Asar's got a ways to go. Definitely more of a project. He's still gonna be a lottery pick in my opinion. He's still gonna be very good, but yeah, definitely a bit more of a project. Got some fine tuning to do.
Okay.
Oh, pick is in. Oh.
What pick is in?
Never mind. I misread that. I thought Detroit's pick was in.
No.
I was like, that was fast.
Okay, what about
Detroit?
Detroit?
The Chicago Bulls to do something.
What is Detroit looking at? Jacob's just mouthing on screen. Every passing pick is another player that the Bulls won't get, Jacob. That's how you look at tonight.
Do something. Anything.
What return do you realistically think you get for Zach LaVine? Realistically.
I think there's a good to Miami happens. Because I feel like if Dame, obviously, they don't have Beal as that option. So I guess Zach would be their fall option. Obviously not going to go with DeMar because the 3-point shooting stuff. I mean, if you got me Tyler Hero and a protected first, or ideally Tyler Hero and like I think they have like the 16th pick. Why not?
They're not doing that. There's no way they're trading Hero for LaVine and a purse. Yeah, there's no way.
I mean,
Miami.
I had a lot of people who are Heat fans agree with me that was a good trade package. Obviously, they don't run the fucking Miami Heat, but
really,
I don't think Tyler Hero is that great. I'm not even particularly thrilled at the prospect of having him on my team, but
you just want to get rid of everybody.
yeah, but I'm just discussing what seems reasonable to me. But like either a decent to pretty good young player and a protected first, or like 3 first-round picks and salary filler.
The main problem
obviously
is that
would also
the market for a player.
Those picks.
The market for a player like Levine is just not that big, Yeah.
Well, I think in the right context, Zach LaVine can be significantly impactful. Like we're still talking about somebody average a very efficient 27. Like that's not a player that that grows on trees. And I have long thought LaVine in a system that plays him off ball, because he's one of the best catch and shoot guys in the entire league, but he always has the fucking ball in his hands.
Okay.
What a conundrum.
He's not even a particularly strong ball.
Oh, I think Jacob froze.
No,
he's back.
You're on that island Wi-Fi. You're on that Ocean Gate Wi-Fi.
You lagged for a bit. It's all good.
I am close to the ocean, so yes.
You missed the joke.
Yeah. No, okay. I agree with you. I mean, Zach LaVine can definitely make a difference on a few teams, but just that there's just not that many teams looking for a player his age. Because like to trade for LaVine, you're looking for somebody who's looking to become, who's looking for a playoff contributor, and who has the assets to trade for him. Yeah.
Right. I'm specifically Miami makes the most sense to me though, because I think like fit wise, there's no other team that like exemplifies his strengths and hides his weaknesses better than the Miami Heat would. Like he's not going to be asked to be an on-ball playmaker very much with the Miami Heat, which he's not good at. And Bam Adebayo. What happened?
Oh wow!
Detroit just picked the other Thompson twin. Wow.
Did not see that one.
That's actually very unexpected. Cow. Yeah.
Yeah, he jumped.
Are they sure they have the right one? Did they on their draft board? They just had Thompson. They just had a dot Thompson, and then they just messed it up.
we thought it was the right one.
No, it's the right one. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Like in every mock draft that I've seen, he was not projected this high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes like the rest of the lottery a lot more interesting.
Huh.
Who's at pick number 6?
That's pick number 6 is Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando is very interesting. So actually, who I think Orlando should draft, and this is a guy who is not mocked this high, is Anthony Black. So Anthony Black is the one player that I really liked. When I was watching, I paid a lot of attention to him in Arkansas during the March Madness. He really impressed me. Like very high IQ basketball player. Definitely his ceiling seems a little bit capped. He doesn't really have I don't want to say his ceiling is capped, but he's not his measurables are not as impressive. But I think he's like a pretty surefire starter at the very least. So for a team like the Magic that I think probably is drafting a guard, I would consider Anthony Black. Although maybe they like someone more.
I mean, I've heard Grady Dick tossed around.
Grady Dick, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, then we would get the duo of Suggs and Dick.
Amazing, incredible. Twitter's going to be.
We had the Sexland duo. We had the gay sex duo.
Gay sex duo. Yeah.
Now we have Suggs Dick.
That's amazing.
Oh my god, I look so fucking red because of this lighting. I promise I'm not this red.
I was about to say I like Dick as a player, but that's I gotta.
I'm such a middle schooler, man.
No, I can't even say that properly now. How do you say I like Grady? That's not right. Just say I like Dick
in Orlando.
Jacob, do you like Dick?
Sometimes.
Fair enough.
Some of these comments are they're not even trying to make a good pun. Someone just said,
yeah, no, it's the lowest hanging fruit. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's like, that's not even a pun.
Yeah, I feel like his draft day fit's gonna gonna kill that stock. He's gonna fall all the way to 38. I don't know.
Someone's
That's
typed
arbitrary.
Leviticus 2013.
Wait. Is that the one?
That's so annoying. Dude. Yeah, Leviticus is the book in the Old Testament that's like, got some of the craziest verses.
Oh, goodness.
Is that the no gay?
Yeah.
Is that the no gay one?
Take that. Yeah.
I was hoping he was.
We don't want that on the
joking.
screen. Yeah.
I think he's joking. That's why I think it's funny if you're joking. If you're not, fuck off.
Anything can be taken out of context.
Right. Yeah. Not a that could be a crazy screenshot. Yeah, but stupid.
Doesn't Orlando has they had 6 and what? 6 and 10, 6 and 13.
6 and 13.
They got 2 lottery picks.
6 and 11.
6 and 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Orlando might
would be
actually
nice.
like Anthony Black, but they might gamble and just say maybe Anthony Black falls to them at 11.
Would be nice.
I'm not sure he will though. That's
Would
the
be
thing.
nice.
I would take Anthony Black much earlier, but I don't know what they're thinking. I would take him right now.
Would be nice if someone had that 11th pick that wasn't Orlando, but
if only the Bulls had been worse.
Yeah, Mark texted me the other day, like, I forgot the Bulls gave up so much for Nikola Vucevic. And it's that it's very depressing. Not Zay, who is our resident Orlando Magic fan, is disputing your claim, Mark.
Oh, you don't think Anthony Black is a good fit? I mean, I'll default to an Orlando fan, but like
Yeah.
why? I mean, they're going guard, right? Or no? Okay,
I don't know.
See the pick.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll see what Zay says.
Okay, Anthony Black.
Anthony Black.
Interesting.
There we go.
Wow.
Look at you.
Okay.
Well, sucks for you,
Alrighty.
Zay. Doesn't they're taking him anyways.
They took Black. Okay.
Oh man, that's funny.
Well, there goes that.
I feel like he
discussion.
was projected like bottom of the 10 from what I see.
He's been flying up draft boards lately. Like towards.
Wait, say why?
like,
Why
over
do
the
you not
last
like?
2 weeks.
Why do you not like Anthony Black? Is this a thing about like being very high on Suggs and Cole Anthony or something? Like what's going on?
He's really high on from what I understand, he's really high on Fultz actually.
On faults. Okay.
We'll see what he says in response. This should be
Interesting. Yeah.
All right, Indiana, boring pick. Don't care who they take.
Apparently they were looking to trade it, so that might happen.
Do we know what Indiana is doing in general? What's going on there? Are they trying to? What are they trying to do?
Yeah, that's interesting because like they're trying to trade your 7th pick when you're supposedly rebuilding is odd. Apparently they were like talking with the Raptors about OG. OG is probably officially in the Miles Turner class of always in trade talks. But he's like 26, isn't he? Like, would you rather just see what I can get at 7 and what that player becomes? But Indiana is almost like addicted to mediocrity. It's crack to them.
So notable names still on the board: Taylor Hendricks, Cam Whitmore, Jarris Walker, Bilal Coulibaly, Grady Dick.
That's a cool name.
Derek Lively, Kobe Buffkin, Jalen Hood-Schifino. Those are some of the other guys. Kassan Wallace. I'm thinking if I had to guess, Indiana's either going to take Cam Whitmore or Taylor Hendricks.
All right, here's Zay's take on why Anthony Black's not a good pick.
Also,
Can't really
Cam Whitmore has been the fall guy of the draft so far.
Yeah. Shout out to Richie Miller for the money.
Fair enough.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. Well, they got a lot of guard stuff.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I feel weird about them. The thing is, like, they do have a lot of guards, but like, I don't know if any of them are long-term starting.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's the big
point
question I
guards.
have too. And
It's
for
like,
me,
I
like,
think Cole Anthony is destined to be a six man. That seems like he was born to be, multiple times 6 man of the year winner, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah, the main reason why I always like the fit is because I feel like Anthony Black's biggest advantage is his maturity as a player and his basketball IQ. I think he can contribute right away. And yeah, you just want to surround Wagner and Banchero with some high IQ guards. But I agree. I mean, like, yeah, if the shot is a huge concern and you're afraid you can't develop it, then I guess. But I think also Orlando's very much eyeing to get Grady Dick with 11. Yeah.
Dude,
Okay, hold on. Question.
Yeah.
it just got spoiled for me.
Yeah, and it's a trade, so I feel like it's
Oh.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Tell us.
Indiana is selecting Bilal Coulibaly at 7 and
Okay.
trading him to Washington.
For what?
For other picks, probably.
Maybe
For-
Tyus Jones
for those 6 second-round picks that they got from Phoenix.
Trading for Tyus Jones when you have Tyrese Halliburton would be insane.
I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But the fact that they
Washington,
I'm pretty upset that they got Bilal because I wanted him in OKC, but I was going to be surprised if he fell to 12.
dude, this front office
is Washington
from the
just trading up
Wizards-
one spot? Is Washington selecting at 8? Are they just trading up their pick, or no? This is just a separate pick too.
I don't know what the package
Maybe
is.
that's
yet. I
what
haven't
it
seen
is.
anything.
That might be
Are
it.
they trading
That
just to
might
move up
be it.
one spot?
Yeah, for a player that I don't even think was projected to go that high.
Or they didn't. I mean, there's a chance they didn't trade. I mean, I'm assuming they did trade the 8th pick, but it's possible they didn't, and they're going to select back to back, which would be
Maybe
insane.
this guy.
Yeah, that would
maybe
be
this guy. Maybe this guy was like the Patrick Williams of his draft, where like if you were in the know.
I
you
mean, yeah,
weren't that surprised, but-
he's another overseas guy, so it's possible.
I really want to know what this package is. That's going to be.
Yeah, well, let's just see if they have their own picks, though. I assume they do. That's so strange to trade up, just like when you're about to trade for the pick that's right before your pick.
Yeah, again, a player that, from what I understand, was not projected that high. Like Zay, who
I saw.
Coulibaly
I
gained
don't
a lot
think
of
he was
steam.
going to go. Yeah,
He gained a lot of
I'm
steam.
not surprised he went
towards
this high.
Yeah, towards the week. He gained a lot of steam.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the year, I remember reading him. He was projected like mid to late first round, and then he basically he gained steam.
Zay
into the
is
lottery.
the most draft guy that I know, so I just kind of taken his word for it.
Indiana is selecting Jarris Walker at 8 via Wizards in this 7 for 8 flip. Washington also sends 2 second-round picks to Pacers to move up for Coulibaly.
That's the most meaningless trade of all time. Okay, I guess
I
Washington
guess they both got their guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Washington
But
really
why?
wanted to make sure. I think Washington
But
was
why?
just scared that
They couldn't just called each
Indiana-
other and been like, "Hey, we're gonna take Bilal. You guys can take Jarris."
Well, no,
all
that's
right?"
how it works. Though I mean, Indiana got some stuff in return, so I guess
Yeah.
I feel like those calls do happen. Like,
Mhm.
they're like, yeah, man, chill out.
So
Don't
I
confuse
can't think of the specifics, but there at one point, one GM told I forget exactly what this was, but one team, and it was fairly recently, there was a team that thought another team was taking one player, and then they didn't, and then the team that thought that one thing had to trade for whatever player had gotten picked, that they were operating under the understanding that like he wouldn't have been picked. I can't remember the exact scenario, but it was funny, like hearing the reports about it.
Do you guys know the Bill Russell like draft trade story? Like why
No.
he
No.
fell to number 3? So the first pick, the Celtics had the 3rd pick in that draft. The first team was the St. Louis Hawks, and they didn't select Bill Russell because of racism. And the second pick was, I think, the Baltimore, whatever the hell
Bullets,
that team
Baltimore
was.
Bullets. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
The guy who owns the Celtics was friends with the guy who owned that team. And the guy who owned the Celtics, also separate business venture, owned this show called The Ice Capades, which was like super, super popular in the 50s and 60s. So he said, hey, I'll have like 15 shows for the Ice Capades in your venue that the guy from Baltimore owned if you don't take Bill Russell with the second pick. And they did that. So like an ice skating, like fancy, like dance show being performed in Baltimore is why Bill Russell is a Celtics legend. And racism. So there goes to show you, racism is hurtful to white people too, because that Hawks team didn't get to have Bill Russell because they're fucking ignorant.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It's very one of my favorite like niche things about NBA history.
That's got to be illegal now, yeah?
Where are you questioning racism like it wasn't the 50s?
Racism question mark.
Wait, somebody said I was talking about Zaire Smith. What are you talking about? When did I say Zaire Smith?
Zaire Smith?
Why is his name also Don't Worry, I Don't... Oh, I thought it said Don't Worry, I Didn't Know You Were Live. No, he says
Alex is not talking about Zaire
That's
Smith.
reassuring.
When did I say Zaire Smith? Yeah. You're smoking crack.
No, not that one. Yeah, being traded for Razmid, my favorite thing. Dude, there's some shit, like if you look back at like how shit worked in the NBA rules wise early on, there's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There also used to be like 6 rounds of the draft, and teams would take people that they knew damn well were not even really going to be basketball players. It's just weird.
You see a dude on the street.
Yeah, we want that guy with the 6th pick in the 8th round. Do you guys know?
Hold on. I want to clarify the person that I accused of smoking crack. They said that Zaire Smith was the player who a team thought was going to be available, and then he wasn't. That story that I was talking about. So, thank you, and I'm sorry for accusing you of smoking crack.
Crack consumption, yes.
Okay, Washington just took Jarris Walker, but he's going to Indiana, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm so bummed. I wanted OKC to get him so bad, but I knew he wasn't going to fall that far.
When's OKC picking?
Good. 12.
Okay.
But the fact that Whitmore is not,
Whitmore's still on the table,
I bet
yeah.
I bet Utah takes Whitmore or Dallas. If
I think
Dallas
so
gets
too.
Whitmore, that's going to be sick.
So, I mean, Utah's position, they only care about best player available, right? They're not really worried about fit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's best player for them, it's got to be Cam Whitmore.
I can see Ainge doing something crazy. Oh, Jacob,
Rusty.
there it is. 50-something minutes in. There it is.
Mike. It's all good. Yes. Okay, so if Utah takes best player, it should be Cam Whitmore. Dallas is so interesting, man. I mean, it's very rare that you have a team with a franchise guy that should be a playoff team, and they get to pick this high.
Yeah, like that's gonna scratch a lot of itches for them. I kind of hope. I don't know who Utah's gonna pick. Honestly, I could see Ainge doing something crazy and just like out of nowhere we get a notification that they're trading the pick for like $1 billion future first or something like that. But
yeah,
who knows? But yeah, if Dallas gets Whitmore, that's a fun team, especially with like the concept of trying to build a sustainable contender around Luka. I feel like that becomes infinitely more doable if they actually do manage to re-sign Kyrie. They can get Jaden Hardy to develop, get Whitmore to develop, and the star that I know some people think he's capable of becoming, and then they just fill in around the edges. Like that's a team that could probably be good like into the future.
Yeah, if you have Kyrie and Luka on your team, I think the model has to be just surround them with young big wings, young big affordable wings.
For sure.
Yeah. Like Josh Green that they have right now is already doing really, really well for them.
Oh yeah, I love Josh Green. He's so sick.
I mean, Josh Green is the only reason they even traded Dorian Finney-Smith, because otherwise trading away Dorian Finney-Smith is unthinkable. But when you have Josh Green, it's actually doable.
Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah.
All right, Utah's on the clock now. This feels like it could be, they could take Whitmore. I could also see Taylor Hendricks here. Don't see maybe Grady Dick, honestly. White dude to Utah.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say
always
that's,
works.
that's right up their alley.
Yeah, it
They
always
seem to
works.
like those.
It always works.
Who else? Is there anyone else who's fallen that no? Really just Whitmore. Whitmore's the odd man out right now.
Do we think Dallas ever takes Grady Dick? If let's say Utah takes Cam Whitmore? That makes a little bit of sense to me, but it's
yeah.
It just depends on their own analysis who they think is better, honestly.
Do I sound good?
Your mic works.
I can see the Mavericks taking Derek Lively too. So they don't have to deal with like the patchwork centers anymore. And they can actually just have like a young center that can develop who's like actually good. It's like
what's going on with
putting up with Dwight
is Christian
Powell.
Wood a free agent? He is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know what to make of that guy, like, ever.
Christian Wood, yeah, I agree. He's hard to analyze.
Like, there are times where I'm like, oh yeah, this like is a perennial all-star and like a generational offensive talent.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, get this guy off the fucking floor.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Kasan Wallace is going to sneak into the lottery. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Kasan.
Has Whitmore gone yet?
No,
he's still on the board. Kind of surprising.
Keontae George is still on the board. That's surprising.
So I assume nothing of note happened while I was gone.
Nah. The draft is slow.
Yeah,
I'm kind of just realizing, like, wow.
Yeah, I was expecting we'd wrap this up around the end of the lottery because I don't give a fuck about the 20s. And then,
yeah.
And then here we are. We're on pick, 8?
Yeah. I was gonna say something. You made me lose my train of thought. Thanks a lot, Jacob. Jerk.
You're welcome.
Dang it! This is your fault, dude.
Hey, look, I lose my train of thought constantly. So
you do.
Yeah, marijuana.
There's a lot of talent left in the first round. Nick Smith Jr., Keontae George, Jordan Hawkins, Kasan Wallace, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Kobe Buffkin.
That sounds like a mobster name. What was that? Joey something Schifino?
Jalen Hood-Schifino?
Jalen Hood. Okay, Jalen's not very mob, but Schifino sounds like, yeah, whatever.
Somebody in the chat asked if Dallas offered Kyrie $30 million a year on a 3+1 with the final year being a team option, would that be a good contract? Okay, so the thing, like, there's no way Kyrie agrees to take a team option in his final year. But let's just say it's like 4 years, 120. I think so. I mean, like, $30 million a year is
it's an amount of money that, like, if he ultimately is like, Jesus, this was a mistake, $30 million isn't a huge chunk of the cap anymore.
Yeah,
like,
30 million is fair. I think Kyrie's gonna get more than that, honestly.
I don't know, man. He has really hurt his value, I think. Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, like, I feel like Kyrie's morals and what he believes in, which, you know, a little bit questionable at times, to say the very least, but he's pretty strongly about, like, having control. And
the
a team option is the opposite of having control.
Yeah.
There's
Plus,
no
also
way.
players of his caliber just never agree to team options. It's just not a thing. So, but I mean, I would totally do that if I'm Dallas. But of course, a lot of this hinges on whether or not you view him as someone that can be, you know, okay in a locker room.
I would personally probably do 35-40 a year, but just 2 years.
That's fair. Yep, that's fair. So maybe and
you can be like, hey, Kyrie, if this goes well, we'll give you fucking $50 million. Just don't be crazy.
Yeah. Who wants to keep playing that game though? Like, how long are teams going to keep falling for that?
Listen, man, what else does Dallas have as an option? What else do they got at this point other than Luka Doncic?
Chat's talking about Suggs, Black, and Dick. That's nice. Good job,
my
guys.
God.
Wow.
That's
Now
terrific.
I think we
Amazing.
are. Yeah, never mind. I lost my train of thought again.
Pick is in. This one's going to determine a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take this lesson away, kids. If you smoke marijuana every single day of your life, you'll probably start to get very short-term memory. Just so you know.
Taylor Hendricks.
Taylor Hendricks. Wow. Whitmore's going to be available at 10.
What the hell?
That's
I thought he
actually-
was
that's
going to be like
astonishing.
the 5th pick from what I
Yeah.
heard, like at least in that tier. He must have had a bunch of horrible workouts.
You know what this reminds me of? In 2017 or something, did Justice Winslow fall? Justice Winslow in that draft, he was projected like a 4th or in some drafts 3rd. He fell to Miami at 10. And in Miami, of course, was still trying to build a contender. It was right after LeBron left. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like, yeah. I assume Dallas takes Cam Whitmore here.
Maybe his like medicals had issues.
That's what I
feel like that
on Twitter is that he has
feel
injury concerns.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like that would have been reported more though.
interesting. I didn't read about him in
If anything, that means it makes it more comparable to like not directly comparable because he wasn't previously projected to be like a top 2 pick, but like kind of like the Michael Porter Jr. Not to the same extreme, but like we thought he was going to go way higher, and it turns out on draft night he's a piece of glass.
Okay, Jake Fisher reported before the draft that the Mavericks will probably keep the pick if Cam Whitmore or Taylor Hendricks fall to 10.
Okay, well,
So it sounds like they should just take Cam Whitmore.
Anyone here know a lot about Cam? Because I do not.
he's like kind of, I mean, he'll be able to do some contributing from day one, but he's kind of one of those guys, like he's more of an upside pick is my understanding.
That's interesting that Dallas would be such a fan of an upside pick because I mean maybe they are looking at it as an asset to flip later. But then why wouldn't you trade the 10th pick anyways? It's like the same thing, just different times. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't think Dallas needs projects right now. I think Dallas needs players who are ready to be players.
No, I agree. But I mean, next to Luka, Whitmore should be a good fit. I don't know his like shooting splits off the top of my head, but he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he fell this far is shocking.
It has to be the medical stuff. Yeah.
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 Like I'm looking on NBADraftRoom.com, and it says Whitmore's biggest weakness is his passing, playmaking skills, which you're playing next to Luka.
Right.
Yeah.
Who
And
cares?
maybe Kyrie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically just need play finishers. I'm not like desperate for more on-ball creation when I have Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Like you've got it, man. You don't need more.
Mavericks had the best offense in league history with Luka just having the ball 40 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
Whoa! What happened?
Whoa!
Okay.
The Mavericks are
God.
trading number 10 and Davis Bertans for the number 12
What?
pick.
That's not
baby.
What? To the Thunder?
Yeah,
okay, I
for
was gonna
number
say I
12.
thought Dame got traded, man. You can't do that to me.
Who cares
I know-
about Dame? Who
I know
cares
you're a
about
Thunder
Dame?
fan, but Jesus Christ, man, I thought something earth-shattering just happened.
For me, it did.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's the entire trade. This is a salary dump?
Yeah, it has to be.
Okay, that's it. Wow. Okay.
OKC still doing salary dumps. They're addicted to that shit.
Well, honestly, I mean,
Well,
Bertans
OKC
is not
can
great, but he's
can
not
do it, yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, and
He's
also
not a
60
terrible
million,
player.
just like we were talking about 30 not being that huge of a deal.
Okay, wait. So speaking as the OKC fan, is it 100% Whitmore here they're going for?
I don't know.
Don't know? Okay. What does OKC even need? I'm so confused. OKC has so many like decent young players. You know?
It's tough to say like who like what we need to fix next because like we haven't seen Chet play yet. So you
Right.
could say like Chet's a 4, so we need a center to put next to Chet. In that case, people
I don't
have
think
said
Chet can
Derek
be a 4.
Lively.
Yeah.
And then like some people have said, oh, we just need more like shooting.
Yeah.
And then for that reason, people have said Grady Dick.
Mhm.
And then Whitmore is like, oh, we just need more wings that can do stuff. And so
Right.
some people would say like Whitmore or Jarris if they fall.
Huh.
And now it's like, I don't even know because Whitmore was not expected to fall this far.
How bad is Davis Bertans' contract that they let me look this up.
It's pretty bad, but like it's expiring, I'm pretty sure.
Let me take a look at this. Davis Bertans 17 million this upcoming season. And then early termination option. That's the team's early termination option? Yeah, team's early termination.
Yeah, he's not
So
even
team option
making
for
that
16.
much though.
Yeah, it's expiring
Very-
after this year.
Very
that's fine.
funny tweet from Adrian Wojnarowski. The Mavericks are trading number 10 and Davis Bertans to the Thunder for number 10. Sources tell ESPN.
Oh, he got too nervous.
All right, I have to hide the chat. I don't want this pick spoiled for me.
Dude is typing as fast as possible to try and beat Shams.
Man, I'm so nervous right now.
Do you have a preference? Or you don't even know?
I don't even know,
Yeah,
honestly.
fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I mean, was moving up 2 spots that significant of a deal?
I think OKC just didn't want Orlando to take him or Dallas to take him. So
I mean, what difference does that make to them? Orlando doesn't. I mean, I guess Dallas some sense, but
Oh, you know what this is? This must be Dallas clearing cap to sign Kyrie, yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
It has
it's
to be.
definitely a cap move.
Yeah.
They said there were 2 other.
Oh, let's go. I'm very happy with that.
Carson Wallace.
Interesting. Kaysen.
Who's that?
Kaysen, not
He
Carson.
played for UK, and he's kind of been flying.
Yes,
up
there
the
is no
boards
R
lately,
in there. I
too.
don't know where I got that.
I don't know a
Dyslexic
ton
as
about him.
hell.
I mean, I've watched him play with UK.
What position?
He's a big guard, yeah?
He's a guard. He's an insane defender, like stupidly good defender.
I'm guessing his offense is pretty raw. Then, if he's going this low, then
What's that? Sorry, I was relishing in my
Interesting.
moment. What'd you say?
yeah, I was
Jacob?
gonna say he's probably not very polished offensively if he's going that low as an insane defender.
I mean, he's not like a nothing offensively.
I didn't say that was necessarily the case because I feel like the Andre Roberson player doesn't really have a place in this league anymore. I don't think the holy shit he can defend, but he's a 0 offense. We don't really do that around here anymore.
He gets like Drew Holiday comps, so that's kind of like
That
good
suggests he has some
barometer.
creating ability.
no. He's not like a Davion Mitchell kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like an actual point guard
respect
who can do
Davion.
point guard stuff.
No, there's a
I mean,
there's
I
a
like
weird amount
Davion,
of people. There's a weird amount of people who like. I said Davion probably wasn't going to be a huge factor in the Kings Warrior series, and they came for me. It's like there's this many Davion Mitchell fans out there. I had no idea.
Mitchell wasn't bad in that Warriors series.
No,
He had his
was not.
moments. Yeah, he had his moments.
Definitely did.
Yep.
I was a little bit wrong, at least.
No.
I do. This is an interesting question to fill some time. What's the like most surprised like pushback you've had to take? Like maybe like just a fan base that's like, wow, I did not know you guys were so impassioned.
That's a good question. Let me think.
I don't even necessarily have an answer for myself.
I mean, I haven't. I only started making videos again like a few weeks ago, and I took a 3-year break.
Right,
so
so
I
you're
everything.
thinking of like a while.
Yeah, I
ago.
can't. So like in the few weeks since I've been back, I mean, I said I like Landry Shamet in that trade, and people.
Yeah,
like, a lot
I
of
did
Suns
see that.
A lot of Suns fans came for me, and I was like really okay. I mean, I guess
I will say I'm a
Yeah.
big Shamet guy because I made a video predicting that he would be better than Trae Young, which is why I don't which is why I don't make which is why I don't make draft content anymore, because I was like, this Trae Young guy is going to be a fraud. Landry Shamit's going to be in the 20s and be better. And to be fair, the main point was that Landry Shamit would be a steal, and he was all rookie second team.
Yeah,
but since then, he's like a shooter in theory. His consistency's so bad, and he's not a playmaker, and he's not a defender at all.
So my whole thing with Shamit is that I know in the playoffs he was not good except for that one game, but he did have an injury pretty late into the season. He was playing much better before the injury. He came back, and when he came back, now Kevin Durant was on the team, and so I think in terms of like adjustment, he just had to go through a lot. So I'm very much still on the Shamit train.
He is an NBA player, and the Suns don't have a lot of them. So
yeah, like they need guys
trading an NBA player.
Yeah,
like at this point with Phoenix, you're like, you just need bodies that can survive in a playoff setting, and like Shamit survived in a playoff setting. He wasn't a huge reason why they lost. He obviously had a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, I still think there's like a world where like Shamit puts it together, and like basically if Shamit can just be consistent with his 3-point shooting, he's a very good player. Like, but the problem is if he's out there and he's going 0 for 6 from 3, he's a huge negative. Negative.
Jack Mack, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it.
What were the kind words? I'm curious now.
He just said he's just glad to have you back.
Where are my kind words?
You gotta take
I've been here the whole time.
You gotta take a 3-year break. Yeah.
I didn't quit. Where's my praise?
They only miss you when you're gone, Jacob.
That's what I gotta do. It was a little bit encouraging to me to see that like you picked it up right where you left off pretty fucking well. Like if anything, I think the views on what I looked at of your videos were like better than like the last like 4 or 5 before that from 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean when I quit, I was like
pretty sick.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Orlando picks. What?
But it gave me hope if I just disappeared.
Jet Howard?
Yeah, this one was a surprise. This one got spoiled for me.
Jet Howard? Where was was he even mocked in the lottery? What is this?
So this
he was
actually
mocked first round, but I don't think lottery. I think top 20 is kind of where people.
Okay, judging by how hard he celebrated, he knew he was not mocked in the lottery.
So in this case, that's like an excellent trade for the Mavericks then, because if they're still
it's Juwan Howard's son.
Oh, okay.
He's Juwan Howard's son. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. But for Dallas, you just got off of Davis Bertans essentially for free because you're getting the same player you wanted anyways.
Probably.
That's a very good move.
Also, Cam Whitmore is still on so they're going to get Cam Whitmore at 12.
Or they'll take someone else.
Or they'll take someone else.
Yeah, man, it feels like Whitmore's just going to keep sliding.
Maybe Whitmore's
I would bet there's something that we don't know about, like medical.
It has to be medical, yeah.
Or like something intel.
Either that or off the court troubles.
That's what.
Okay, if you're still in the chat, it looks like the one thing Howard can do is he can shoot. So I guess you should be happy. He's a guard that can shoot, yeah.
Well, who's
I had the next pick spoiled for me.
Okay, don't spoil it for us here. I want to watch this live.
Who drafted Jet?
Orlando.
Who was
Orlando with the 11th pick. Yeah.
I think correct. Maybe Alex, wasn't Zay kind of high on Jet?
Yeah, a lot of draft guys like Jet a lot. But I still don't think a ton of people had him mocked super high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he was a super big Cole Anthony guy, and then they drafted Cole Anthony, and he was very happy.
Zay
Cole Anthony is a fun player, man. I don't know if Cole Anthony is good, but he's a fun player.
Zay is the first person I saw on Leonard Miller, so I'll be interested to see where Leonard Miller goes because a lot of people had him lottery, and now he's close to falling out of the lottery.
No centers taken yet, huh?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, except for Wemby, obviously, but yeah.
I do want to say, since I mentioned my L draft take from earlier,
Yeah.
I did like a year or two after predict that Desmond Bane would be the steal of the draft. So
Nice.
like before the draft.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll never let that go.
No, I will not. I hold on to that.
I understand.
Like fucking wreckage in the storm. This is all I have.
That's a good call. I mean, Desmond Bane is yeah. Desmond Bane is not easy to project.
It's pretty easy to bet on shooters. Like that's just the valid skill that if you can just shoot the hell out of the ball, a team will at least consider you.
Final trade:
Big
Otto
Zen.
Porter Jr., Wendell Carter Jr., Franz Wagner, and Howard for Vucevic and Alfred Camino. Okay, he's smoking.
No, it's talking about all the stuff. What the
the
Vuce
package.
trade
Oh, the
was.
package. Oh, like what? Oh, the pick that ended up being Franz Wagner. Is he just trying to make you depressed, Jacob?
If he wasn't trying to, he did anyways. I mean, Otto Porter Jr., who gives a shit about that? But Wendell, Franz...
Jacob, Otto Porter Jr. is an NBA
Jet.
champion. Otto Porter Jr. is an NBA champion.
Okay, what does that do for the Bulls? God.
Yeah, Juwan's
Hurt
wife
so
looking like
bad.
Janet Jackson.
Watch
Juwan's wife
watch
is wearing
too.
some
Watch too.
insane thing.
Jet is gonna be really fucking good now, just because he's a part of this trade. Like Franz, fantastic. Wendell, as soon as he went to Orlando, man, listen, I was defending Wendell Carter like my life depended on it from Bulls fans for 3 years, however long he was there. And I finally gave up on him a week before the Bulls traded him. Like I went on a whole rant where I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't wait for Wendell to be good. He goes to Orlando. He's instantly excellent.
He's good. Yeah.
God, man, that's
What is
Three.
Orlando even missing? Is Orlando just missing a good coach? And some time, I
Just
guess.
development at this
Yeah,
point.
just some time. Yeah, just some time. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. They have so many. They actually have so much talent.
I think. Well, I guess yeah. That guy's a shooter, so that makes sense. I was gonna say I think their shooting could be a little bit better, but that'll probably come with time, anyways.
OKC, I
Otto was
love
a big
OKC.
part of that.
Otto
I
had a
love
role on
OKC
worst title
trading.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll stop talking about OKC.
No,
You
it's
know,
okay.
we
I'm very
went at
hung
the
up
same
on
time.
this. Yeah. No, the 10th overall pick is just historically a good pick. 12 is good too.
Okay.
The 10 is like Paul George, Mikal Bridges, Brooke Lopez, CJ McCollum. Kind of falls off after. Those are just active ones, but like that's pretty good track record for 10th overall pick.
Alex, you do pure basketball film breakdown on your channel. You cannot be talking about NBA superstition like this.
Oh, I'm very superstitious about pick number.
You're supposed to
this
do
is one
objective
thing-
analysis, my friend.
I'm supposed to, but when it comes to pick order, I'm like, nope, this matters.
Dude, I straight up anytime I see like I think the third pick's gonna be goated every time because it just is such a good history. So that's why I was like, if Scoot goes at 2,
Yeah.
he'll probably be worse than if he goes at 3. And like honestly, man, Brandon Miller might be on some Sam Bowie shit. Potentially.
Well, we'll see. I cannot
Pierce.
believe I cannot believe they drafted Michael Kidd-Gilchrist still. Like I get the talent and everything, but like even when you watched him play in college, like the man just like does not have any basketball skill set. Like how in the world? I am just
Richie, someone made that joke already, but you gave us money.
damn. Rudy looks way different
That's
with
fine.
with that, dude. I actually don't know what Rudy looks like. Do I have to go to your past
man,
live
he's
streams to...
just imagine Post Malone was 5'5" and blonde.
Jeez, that's terrifying. That is terrifying.
Nah, but somehow like not terrifying. I mean, you can just click on the latest podcast episode.
Gotcha.
Yes,
I wonder what
Rudy-
Michael
Rudy is
Kidd
the
Gilchrist
best.
is up to these days.
He was in the bubble. That's the last time we saw him. He played in the bubble on the Mavericks.
He played in the bubble on the Mavericks.
Yeah. Garbage. He played horribly.
I don't think he played
Huh.
in the playoffs, but like in the 8 regular season games. I feel like season is the people that it was nothing was regular about that at all.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist
No,
signed with the Knicks in 2020 and was waived a month later.
Yeah,
he
I
has
remember
not
that,
played
actually.
anywhere since.
Overseas.
He's only 29 years old, man. Oh my god. Jeez.
What happens when your jumper looks like that? Rudy is indeed the GOAT. He is dearly missed right now. I actually saw
Indubitably.
some of the apartments he was looking at, and there's nice ass apartments where he's at. Which is at
Dox him. Do it.
yeah. Something Negra Arroyo Lane. I was trying to make a Breaking Bad joke,
Breaking
but I
Bad.
can't remember what it is. What's the fucking number?
Oh, it's wait, I actually don't remember either. Yeah, it
By
was,
the way,
O'Reilly Lane.
Yeah, I made a joke to you, Mark, and
Yeah.
I didn't know if you got it or not because you gave
What?
the joke a thumbs up.
What was the joke?
You told me you were going to law school, and I said I recommend the University of American Samoa.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
because
Better Call Saul.
that's-
Yeah. No, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's no, I remember, dude. I'm a big Better Call Saul fan. I got it. Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yes.
Hell yes. It's good to know. But I was like, a like is a weird
Okay,
response.
Derek
Did you
Lively.
take that as
The Mavericks picked Derek Lively.
Mhm.
So
wow.
Ken
Yeah,
Whitmore
something's up.
continues to fall, dude. He has there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this must be some very bad medical.
Thumbs
stuff.
up. At this point, thumbs up.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought you just took that as a genuine recommendation. Like I knew what kind of law school to suggest you go to.
No, like there actually is a University of American Samoa, but they don't have a law school. They made it up for the show. Yeah, but it's
That
a real
makes sense.
university.
That makes sense because it's kind of an insult if it does exist.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But if they don't have a law program, it's just a shout out. Yeah.
So does this mean Toronto takes Cam?
Dude, no, maybe nobody takes Cam. There must be something really bad we don't know.
Similar thing happened with Jaden Hardy. I mean, not during the draft. I mean, he still fell during the draft, but like no one expected him to go second round like he did.
The thing is, I did not read any buzz on Cam Whitmore having all this injury concern.
Me neither. And I didn't start hearing that stuff until like literally the draft started. And then people were like, yeah, Cam Whitmore has injury concerns. I'm like, oh, didn't know that.
Derek Lively.
You would think with all the bullshit that is surrounding all of any ever report around the NBA, you could at least get something like that out more than a second before the draft. Like that's actually real, and we're not hearing about it. But Shams is tweeting that Scoot Henderson is a lock at number 2.
Okay, so
What an
Derek Lively, I
icon
mean, there's a
player.
chance that they just don't re-sign Christian Wood, yeah?
Yeah, I
feel like Christian
I'm
Wood
kinda
is really
over Christian Wood.
necessary. I think they don't need more offense, really. Like, they just need to get defenders and play finishers.
Yeah.
And, like, don't get me wrong, Christian is, like, an excellent pick-and-roll option. Also a good pick-and-pop option. Can occasionally put the ball on the floor and create for himself. But I'd rather just have, like, you know, a Clint Capella type than Christian Wood on the Mavericks.
Dude,
I'm going to clarify something real quick
Yeah.
for the people in the chat.
Yeah.
OKC did not select Derek Lively. They selected Derek Lively for the Mavericks, and the Mavericks selected Kassan Wallace. So Wallace is going to OKC. Lively is going to Dallas.
So Derek Lively is according to this guy, Tyson Chandler-esque, perhaps. What do we think? I don't know.
He's
I
big.
know there's like
He's definitely
optimism
big, yeah.
that Derek Lively can shoot eventually, but I don't know how.
They were showing
realistic
clips
that
of him
is.
practicing. I mean, yeah, he can. He has a shot, but we'll see.
So you
We'll see
guys said you didn't know anything about the draft, and I'm like, I literally don't know any of these players, and you guys do.
I mean, only vaguely.
Very
And
likely
it's
good for
mostly I'm
kids,
mostly
yeah.
reading like smarter people who have actually studied the film. Yeah.
There's this
I
thing
don't
in the
form my
chat
own
that I don't
opinions.
know if I want to show because it seems entirely unsubstantiated, but potentially the thing. You guys can look at it.
There was a rumor,
Yes, that
Oh,
one.
and then the
talking
team,
GG Jackson.
the player was hitting the vape. No way,
I love
man.
the phrasing of that.
The player was
Yeah,
hitting the vape.
it was GG Jackson.
It would entirely depend what's in that vape.
But also, like, why would that be the deal breaker for NBA teams? Like,
Yeah.
He was
they
already
care.
falling in
Yeah.
projections, so I think there was probably like so much has already gone wrong, and then this thing happened, and it was like, all right.
I do want to say there's like super conservative ass values in terms of like how front offices will evaluate players. And it's like, he hit a vape, that means he's a hooligan.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know shit about him, but a lot of that stuff is silly.
Toronto's another interesting team.
Well, I mean, for health reasons, I understand the concern.
Well, it depends if it's not good to vape anything, but tobacco is worse than if it were weed. But whatever.
Alex, there's an OKC question. Do you think OKC just buys out Bertans or tries to get what he was in DC out of him? They're not buying out. Well, they're not buying out the Bertans. It's just a question of like, do you trade him? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get like value for him, then we'll probably trade him. But honestly,
you're not going to get
like a player that like, if we can have him be the eighth man and like play 15 minutes a game, it's like, why not? You know, it's such a low consequence thing. It's like, yeah, fine. Yeah, we have Bertans now. He can occasionally come in and shoot, and that's all we need him to do.
Okay, apparently it was a tobacco vape.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, listen, I understand crippling addiction, believe me. But I don't know. I think I would have the control not to hit it at my draft workout. At the very least, wait until I left.
That's true. That's just a standard like professional thing you do. Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
A crack vape. Yeah, that's my favorite type of vape. Is the crack cocaine vape. You can definitely turn crack into water vapor.
Okay, yeah, Toronto's really interesting. Again, don't know what they're doing. They're apparently not interested in tearing it down. I read the report that apparently the Toronto Raptors see themselves as the Miami Heat, as a team that is actually very close to building a contender with, limited pieces. Let's put it that way.
Nah, man, I don't believe that even a little bit.
We'll see. Well,
I do want to say, right. I want to say, how long does Masai Ujiri get to keep this like?
Oh wow, they got Grady Dick. That's
Grady Dick.
Pick.
Okay, how long do they get to have? Does he get to have this like god tier GM label? Because it's been a couple of years in a row of like not doing much, and what he is doing isn't great.
Yep.
And it doesn't help that Fred VanVleet forgot how to put the ball in the basket.
Right.
And like a lot has gone wrong for them, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. But I just think they're a 5 seed at best, pretty much perennially. Like Siakam is not Jimmy Butler.
This is a good pick. I'm kind of surprised. I'm really surprised he fell this far.
Grady Dick got that follow the yellow brick road drip.
At least it's not the Fortnite suit like Kevin.
It looks like he's got that Elvis strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting married to a 14-year-old drip.
Dude, he's wearing the right colors. He's wearing this bright red suit. It's actually perfect.
You see it, Alex?
What are you talking about? Like, oh yeah.
No. Grady Dick did not get married to a 14-year-old, but
that's some
Elvis
intel I was not aware of.
Elvis definitely did.
Yep.
And they're making a movie about that relationship as though it was like a thing to be glamorized. So
the Elvis movie?
Fun world we live in.
Another one? They're making another movie?
Yeah, they're making another fucking Elvis movie.
With Austin Butler again?
No, I think it's a
okay.
different
Oh,
guy.
it's different. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to delete my tweet where I said taking Scoot at 3 is bullshit. Bulls Nation is trending on Twitter. I bet everyone's just yelling at them as they deserve.
For not making any trades. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Every
Yeah.
fucking year. It's nothing. Like, and they finally make big moves for the first time in my life, and then they end up sucking.
The Vucevic one? Yeah.
Well, just that, the DeMar thing, the Lonzo thing. I was on the Lonzo to the Bulls train for like 3 years, though, so I definitely wasn't mad about that, to say the least.
I know Miami fans feel the same way. Miami fans hate that the Heat are not like making the Heat have not made a trade in 2 years.
Yeah, like, you can't be a contender. I think if you're a contender and you have a championship window and you keep all of your first round picks, you're doing something wrong. Like, maximize the team's potential with those picks now. Do it.
That's
like,
true.
I'm not saying be super like Phoenix Suns about it.
Yeah. I also think what the Suns are doing is absolutely insane. Like, Matt Ishbia is completely out of control.
Yeah, like, I feel like that
it's bad.
It's so
I
weird.
I have a really bad feeling about what they're doing. They actually just do not have any of their own picks. It's
like, how did you have no draft picks for 8 years? That's fucking crazy. Not even in the second round.
He's like legit torpedoing that franchise.
Man. We'll probably talk about him the way we do fucking whatever, like Stephian and fucking Isaiah Thomas. Who else am I thinking of?
Well, funny you say Isaiah Thomas, because that's like the shadow GM right now. Is they're saying Isaiah Thomas is the one pulling the strings.
Which is, who thought that was a good idea? He literally had one of the most blatantly obviously bad tenures. Billy King, that's who I was trying to remember. Although I will say, for Billy King, I'm kind of a Billy King apologist, because I do feel as though he was their scapegoat in many ways, where like he wasn't really the one making the decisions, but they were like, everybody go yell at Billy King. But anyways, yeah. DeMar going to the Heat, that would be stupid. By all means, I'd take it, but like, you get another guy who only takes mid-range shots and drives and can't shoot a fucking 3 to save his life. No, actually, I'm fucking no, never mind. I got confused. This guy mentioned when Billy King was with the Sixers, and I thought about what's his name? Power forward, Chicago Bulls, Clippers, Elton Brand. He was 100.
Yeah.
He was 100% just the scapegoat for them.
Yeah. He's still in their front office.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Confused buckets.
Guys, are we buying that Zion Williamson's on a trade block?
Yeah.
I think they're like doing their due diligence shopping him, but I don't think they'll get an offer that's like something they'll actually take.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. Yeah.
Like, they were the 1 seed for a while when they were healthy. When obviously, like, they might be one of those teams that were just constantly like, if they're healthy, but it hasn't been enough years of that where it's like, all right, fucking give it up. And like, I don't think they care about the I guess we'll just call it off the court stuff that's happened with Zion. I don't think they give a shit about that.
No, that stuff does not matter. I mean, the only off the court stuff that matters is like if Zion just is if he doesn't care, which is possible. Yeah. I mean, like, I always feel bad every time I think about, or every time we call out like an NBA player for like lack of effort and lack of improvement. It's like, dude, if I was getting paid the amount of money these guys are making, I wouldn't give a shit either.
Yeah, I think about that, like, people criticizing the way, like, I think a lot of people don't take into consideration that a lot of these guys are in their 20s.
Right,
like,
yeah, that too. Yeah.
I mean, so are we, but like, if you gave me fucking $15 million a year when I was 20, I would have done some crazy shit.
Yep.
The pick has been in for like, I don't even know why they have a
Mhm.
timer, because it doesn't matter. The pick's been in for longer than the timer has been on for.
New Orleans?
Can we? I kind of want to say something here. Can we refrain from saying shit like Zion is fat as fuck? It's just not helpful in any capacity. It's
Oh, you mean in the
fucking-
chat? I was like, I don't remember saying that.
right. But like, it's for people who are fat. You know, they feel like shit reading that, especially people who are super fucking overweight reading that Zion, who looks like a normal person as much as you can, you know, but like his body's not like obese. It's dumb. And then for Zion, he's even talked about it before. Like, that's not going to fucking help him reading that shit. And NBA players read that shit. Just don't do it. It's not helpful. Anyways,
Jordan Hawkins goes
Jordan
to
Hawkins,
New
huh.
Orleans. Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah.
what's that guy do?
He's a guard. Dude, Cam Whitmore. What is going on here?
There's a lot of talent available still. This was
There
a pretty
is.
good
There-
draft.
They're saying it's a deep draft. Yeah.
I can wait, no, wrong thing. I put the
Why
wrong
are you
thing.
highlighting that?
Yeah, I put the wrong thing. That might be a little true, but also I guarantee you Zion has a lower body body fat percentage.
he's got a higher body fat percentage.
Yeah, right. A lower body fat percentage than most of the people in this group chat, or in this chat, not group chat. But
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He does.
Group chat.
Like, he's overweight
Oh.
for an NBA player, but fat as fuck is just a stupid thing to say and mean unnecessarily.
Yeah. Knock it off.
Bullying, knock it off.
Knock it off.
Racism, knock it off.
Jordan Hawkins is the cousin of Angel Reese. Interesting.
I don't know if you guys knew what I was referencing.
I do.
Awesome.
I wasn't gonna acknowledge it.
You're gonna leave.
Well,
me to
that's
feel like a fool.
that's the lottery.
Yeah.
That's
Now we're on
Well-
to Atlanta and Utah, huh? Oh, the next picks. And then Denver has like 2 picks in the late first round too.
I do.
Dude, imagine if Cam
Whitmore.
Whitmore falls to Denver in like 29 or something.
So should we expect a trade at this point, or do we call it here? Because I said I wanted to go through the lottery, but you know,
yeah.
if there's not a move going to happen, there's not much else to talk about.
There'll probably be second rounders moved around, but
There's going to be small
Whoa.
trades. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be small trades, but nothing important.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys trying to wrap this one up?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Sounds
was
good.
our most successful stream by far. I think we're going to be streaming on Also Rusty Buckets regularly.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, but yeah, that was great. Shout out to Mark for being here. Very
Thank you
adequate
very much.
substitute for
Thank you
Rudy.
for having me.
It was
Appreciate
awesome
it.
having you.
Would like to have you back again for sure.
Sure. Sounds good.
Hopefully with Rudy at one point.
Man. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
The
This
true
was
host
very
of the
enjoyable,
podcast.
but I'm ending the broadcast now. Bye.